All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is July 7th, 2026. My name is Coach Kerrigan, lead instructor here at BYOB Trading. Today, captured 718 on $520 worth of risk. That's over 100%. Love it. All right. Let's take a look at the markets, see what we traded today, see what looked good, see what looked bad, see what we can come up with for tomorrow. Thank you, CP. All right, let's take a look at everything. Move this out of the way. Start off with SPY. Let's start off with the guidance. All right, so where's the guidance? I think I was looking at the guidance here. No, it was here. Pretty sure this was the guidance right here. Pretty sure. Not positive. Bullish price action. No, under price action was under. So that's not it. Let's try the other one. Pre-market price action, under post-market price action. Okay, but still in the upper third of the move. Plan to trade a 5-minute uptrend over 750.60 over the top of the pre-market consolidation up to 752.50. That's the daily downtrend line. But should a 5-minute downtrend manifest and trade below 749, I'll be trading the downtrend down to 746.25. That's the intraday support right down there. Happens to also be a little past the midpoint. Pretty darn close to gap fill, but not close enough. All right, and then to 744.90 gap fill. Okay, so what do we have coming out of the gate this morning? Okay, so let's look at this. Let's push this over. All right, let's push this down. All right, let's look at everything we've got. Consolidation, post-market consolidation. We've got pre-market consolidation. Okay, bearish environment right there. Okay, so we're looking for 5-minute downtrend to manifest. Okay, so right here we got a break of the lows. That's what we're looking for. Break of the lows right underneath 749.25. We break right here. That is a red erases green entry right here. Okay, right where they break the lows, 749.25. Let's put the line up. Right there, right on the lows. Right there, they break. All right, so we buy puts. All right, so let's look at the puts that we bought. Okay, so we're looking at puts. Looking at the 746 puts. Bought the puts, sold some puts. Bought some other puts. Sold some of those puts as well. Okay, so we're selling into strength. As price dips, the value of the put goes up, and we sell into that strength of the put option. All right, so when we say selling into strength when it comes to puts, we're speaking about the option price. Okay, right there. So this comes all the way down to, where did it come down to? 745.21. So not quite. Let's see where 745.21 winds up being. I think it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. All right. Well, I'll just say it's right where VWAP left off yesterday. No, right where VWAP left off the day before. Okay, day before. All right. So here's price bouncing on little uptrend line right here that happened to put in a double bottom right here on the 10-minute or on the 3-minute. Double bottom on the 3-minute. Double bottom on the 10-minute right here. These two right there. So 3-minute chart coming all the way down to here. We got up underneath and we traded this to the upside all the way up to 549.31, which happened to be minor resistance, intraday minor resistance. Okay, so this would have been right here. This would have been a consolidation of the pre-market price action. So we traded it right up there, and it was acting bullish, and I really thought I saw a ramp up forming right there, and then they put in this one candle back down. Now, one candle back down is not too bad, all right? But they need to bullish engulf that candle if they decide to do that, and then give it some follow through all the way back up there. They couldn't get it done, so they kind of rolled over. At this point, I'm getting bearish to come back to VWAP, and then to come all the way down to the prior lows, the peak between two valleys, all of that down here. So I got to tell you, the indexes are looking kind of weak today. They couldn't get the job done. They couldn't do a challenge of the downtrend line on the daily chart. We did it yesterday. So I want to review this before I take off today, okay? All right, I want you to be prepared. All right, what we have here on the hourly chart, let's go to the hourly, okay? I just want to say we have a triple top, okay, observed on the daily chart here, okay? We got a top on the 1st, we got a top on the 15th, and we got a top yesterday right here. So we got ourselves a triple top, okay? This is the setup for a potential for a hard fall. I didn't see that happen today, but the fact that they didn't make a higher high is kind of ominous for tomorrow. All right, so we could see a big blast down to the daily uptrend line down here tomorrow, or we could check this area right here, which is the breakup candle low. Okay, so we're either probably coming here, or we're coming down here, and we may even visit that June 26th Fraggle Rock candle right there, 1 minute candle all the way down there at 717. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, but doesn't look good right now. Doesn't look good unless they start recapturing this and making some higher highs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're still holding the upper third. So let's take this off. Let's take this off. Take this off. All right, and just for the sake of argument, let's take this off. Okay, so let's put the quad lines in, starting from down there. You can still see we're up in the upper third. And even if we come down and check this one right here tomorrow, which I think is a possibility. I actually think it's a strong possibility, unless, of course, well, they're already back at 747.50. All right, well, we might be up here tomorrow. We'll see what happens, okay? So, anyways, there's a possibility we're either here on the downtrend line or we're here, okay, on that valley low right there tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, so, and even if we come down there and check that, I think we're still in the upper third. That means we remain bullish up here. So we'll see what happens. This is for tomorrow. Wow, they're really rallying it right here, 747.80. I had some 748 calls, and I dumped them. 748 calls, and they're really taking it up there. They've got 5 minutes left. Wow. They're really coming after it, so we'll see. Got to make a higher high, though. Otherwise, we're stuck with, yes, another downtrend line coming right through here. So we'll see what happens. So coming into the close, what do we got on the 10-minute chart? I'm almost thinking we got a 10-minute uptrend. Let's take a look. We got some funky price action here, okay? Geez, I don't see an uptrend on the 10-minute, and I don't see a downtrend. I'm gonna call it volatility. All right, no uptrend, no downtrend. You got 5 minutes left. I'm just going to call it a downtrend, really. All right, it's they may get all the way up here, But I see this is unless they can get the 3 to cross over the 8, and it doesn't look like they're going to get it done. So 10-minute downtrend coming into the close, 2-hour chart. We got the 3 underneath the 8 here on the SPY. So we got 2-hour downtrend coming into the close on the daily candle. Come on over here. Got a lower high, got a lower low. We closed over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA in the middle of quadrant 4, so we're still bullish there. Haven't made a higher high, so we're still in that dysfunctional downtrend. Okay, origin of the rally back here in March, coming up here, all right, and then moving over to the right. So still bullish, dysfunctional downtrend. Weekly chart bullish and in an uptrend. Monthly chart bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at QQQ. A little bit too many Qs. Okay, so QQQ 10-minute. I'm going to call that a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. I see daylight. I see daylight here between the 3 and the 8. Qs aren't helping us out at all. Okay, so 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. Daily candle. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap. Under the 17, bottom of quadrant 4. That's going to be bullish. Still in an uptrend on QQQ. Again, same origin back here at the end of March. Weekly chart bullish and in an uptrend, nothing broken. Monthly chart bullish and in an uptrend, nothing broken. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Look at this on the daily chart. Diamond Dow, new all-time high. Obviously, back here in March is where the origin of the rally is. Bullish and in an uptrend for Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM putting in, see what the high there is. 341, 343. Outside day, higher high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap over rising 17, middle of quadrant 4, that's bullish. And still in an uptrend, again, same origin of the rally back here at the end of March. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU got an outside day. Got a higher high, got a lower low. We closed over a bullish trap. We closed over the 17, closed under the all-time high anchored VWAP, closed in the middle of quadrant 3. That's going to be neutral. We still haven't made any higher highs, so we're neutral, dysfunctional downtrend, just like SPY. All right, let's take a look at silver and gold. Silver and gold, lower high, lower low, closing. This is silver. Under bearish cross, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, middle of quadrant 2, all right, not quite in the lower third yet, getting there. This is going to be neutral and still in a downtrend on silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold got a lower high. No, got an outside day. Higher high, lower low. Closing inside a bullish trap. Closing under the falling 17 EMA. Closing under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line right here. In the middle of quadrant 3, that's going to be neutral. Have not made any higher highs. Still in a downtrend for gold. Let's take a look at USO. USO got a higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the midpoint at the bottom of quadrant 3, neutral, and still in a downtrend. They got to break out. They got to take out some highs, and they haven't done that in a long time. Let's take a look at UNG. Okay, UNG got a higher low, higher high, closed over a bullish cross, closed over the wavy 17, middle of quadrant 1, still bearish, still in a downtrend. Okay, still bearish, still in a downtrend on UNG. Let's take a look at internals, T2101. Again, we make a lower low, so I'm going to give this one to the bears. All right, again, we lose more participation on the absolute market breadth index. Okay, losing more participation, got a lower low here. So that's T2101 goes to the bears. Bulls take over T2122, holding the ground up here in the buy zone for a little while. And all in all, keeping it over the midpoint, keeping it over the 50-yard line, over the half court, up here in the buyer's chop zone. So this one goes to the Bulls for control for today. T2122, keeping it in the upper third or keeping it in the upper half, all right, of the quad lines. You saw that. It's T2122. T2123, new all-time high again. Bullish gap up. Bears never filled it all day long. All right, so we're up over the rising 200 SMA. That's bullish. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. T2123, new all-time high on the 15-minute chart. So obviously in an uptrend right there. Hard not to be bullish and in an uptrend when you're making new all-time highs. So new all-time highs on the 15, same product, and on the 3-bar chart. Again, bullish and in an uptrend. FNGU on the 15-minute. Oh, look at this. High, higher high. All right, so we leave off with an uptrend. Couldn't hold the higher ground up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. I do like the attack on it. All right. I do like the higher lows right here. I do like the higher lows right here. I do like the idea that we're up over this hooking 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. Okay, so FNGU is still neutral, all right? Okay, because if we put the quad lines on here, okay, still in quadrant 2, so we're still neutral, but we're in an uptrend. So neutral, dysfunctional, downtrend, okay? Uptrend on the 15, dysfunctional downtrend on the daily. So that's FNGU. All right, that's it for me, traders. All right, any questions? No? All right, everybody have a beautiful afternoon. I'll put on a song for you. You might like it, you might not. We'll see what we got here.